Welcome. This is Restorative Yoga, and I am Kat Eggers. And today I will be working with the idea of Ahimsa, which is translated as nonviolence. In the yoga tradition, Ahimsa is one of the yamas, and the yamas are things we're trying to take energy out of. And there's 5 of them, and they are complementary with the niyamas, which are things we're putting energy into. And these two things, the yamas and the niyamas, make up 2 of the 8 branches of the yoga tradition, the yoga practices. Our asana practice is another branch, so the postures we do on our mat, and then the breath work or pranayama is another branch. So for the next several weeks, I will be looking into the yamas and the niyamas and sharing some of that philosophy with you. So in Ahimsa, we are working to be nonviolent in every moment, to not cause harm. And so we're trying to take energy out of acts of harm. And those can be physical acts, but they more commonly, and how this becomes a mindfulness practice, is we can cause harm with our thoughts and our intentions. So, how we feel about ourselves, how we feel about others, the judgments that we pass on ourselves, the judgments we pass on others. So, we're taking energy out of those things and giving them to loving kindness and compassion, and staying open and giving people the benefit of the doubt. So, I'm going to read to you a little affirmation that goes along with this practice of ahimsa. And I invite you to maybe return to this idea throughout your practice today. So the affirmation goes like this: my thoughts and actions are focused on loving awareness. I nurture and cherish myself and others. I'm aware that the mind sometimes entertains thoughts of fear, anger, or selfishness, but I do not get caught up in these thoughts or act upon them. I accept without judgment any uncomfortable mental states. I release them and return to gentle, nonviolent expression of my energy. So let's begin in a seated position. Let's make your way onto your mat and find a comfortable seat. I will meet you over there. So I'm sitting cross-legged on the edge of a cushion so that my hips are a little higher than my knees. That allows my low back to relax, my pelvis to come into a neutral position. Once you find your seat, send your sits bones down as you inhale and lengthen the top of the head up. Exhale to relax the shoulder blades down the back. You might close the eyes to turn the awareness inside, or you could soften the gaze and leave the eyes open. Begin to notice how you feel in your physical body. See if you can practice ahimsa by withholding judgment. Or if judgments arise, see if you can pull your energy out of those judgments. Put your energy into compassion for yourself, compassion for your body, loving awareness for yourself. Then when you feel complete checking in with the physical body, tune into your resting breath. Notice that the breath moves in and out all by itself. Notice that the breath moves the body. Might be a really small movement. See if you can tune in to those and let them fill your awareness. Then begin to deepen and lengthen the breath as you inhale through the nose. Expand the belly up through the ribs and into your heart center. As you exhale through the nose, release the chest, the ribs, and the belly. Inhale through the nose, fill up from the bottom to the top, expanding in all directions. Exhale through the nose and empty out, top to bottom. Go at your own pace. This is called Dirga Pranayam, the 3-part breath. If you feel like you're doing a lot of work in the body, a lot of effort in the body to breathe big, back off a little bit. Focus instead on lengthening. Slowing the breath down. Then notice if your exhale is shorter than your inhale. And if it is, slow the exhale down so it's a little longer than your inhale. See if you can let your mind rest in the steady flow of breath in and out. And continue filling up bottom to top and emptying out top to bottom, but make your physical movements half as big. The next cycle of breath, make your movements half again as big. Still breathing slowly in and slowly out. Let your breath come all the way back to rest. You can leave your eyes closed or you could open the eyes. As you inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. As you exhale, return the arms to your side. Inhale, arms sweep overhead, palms face the sky. As you exhale, palms turn down. Turn the arms to your side. Do that a few more times, following the rhythm of your breath. We'll meet together with our arms by our sides. As you inhale, lengthen the spine up. As you exhale, lean over into the right hand, just enough to bring a little stretch to the left side body. And then lift your ribs away from your hip. Root the left hip down. It's just a little side stretch. If you want, you can reach the left arm all the way overhead, bringing the arm over the ear. Then inhale to rise back up. Bring the left hand to the floor. Exhale and lean into the left hand. Little lean. Lift the right ribs away from the right hip, and then you might swing the right arm up and over. Inhale to rise back up. Exhale to lean a little bit over to the other side. The arm might float overhead. It might stay at your side. Focus on lifting the ribs up and rooting the hip down to get the stretch. Do one more each way. Getting a little lateral flexion in the spine. And we're opening the tissues on the side body. Meet together at center in stillness. Inhale to lengthen the spine up. Exhale to twist over to the right. Bring the right hand to the opposite hip. Reach the left arm behind you. Turn the palm out. Gaze toward the left shoulder. Breathe in. Then exhale and turn your head, just your head, over to look at the right shoulder. And keep reaching down and out through the left fingertips, and you'll probably feel a little stretch come into the shoulder and the neck. Then as you exhale, turn the head back, look over at the left shoulder. Notice if it goes a little farther. Then inhale to turn all the way back to center. Bring the hands onto the knees or the thighs. Inhale, lengthen the spine up. Exhale, twist over to the right. Bring the left hand to the right hip. Reach the right arm back and down. Palm turns out. Gaze toward the right shoulder. Breathe in. Exhale and turn just the head toward the left shoulder. Keep reaching down and out through the right fingertips. Probably feel a little stretch in the shoulder and the neck. As you exhale, turn your head all the way back to look at the right shoulder. Notice if it goes a little farther. And inhale to turn the whole body forward. Bring the hands onto the thighs. As you inhale, draw your heart forward, shoulder blades together, lift the gaze, and let your pelvis tilt forward on your cushion or your mat. Then exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin, let your pelvis tilt backward on your mat. Inhale, rock forward, open the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin, and rock backward. Go at your own pace. Opening the spine. Massaging the vital organs. Softening the body through movement. Begin to move a little smaller each way, a little less each time, until you arrive back in stillness. Notice any change after doing the 6 movements of the spine. What do you feel? Then make your way onto your mat where you can either do legs up the wall, legs over the chair, or maybe head over to a wall or to your couch. If you're I'm using this stool. If you're using a couch or a stool, bring your lower legs onto the surface of your seat and lie down on your back. If you're at a wall, the legs go up the wall, legs come together. If you're on a hard floor, I recommend supporting the sacrum, which is the bone at the base of the spine in between the hip bones, with a blanket. The arms could rest at your sides, or maybe the hands come to the belly. Feel your back body relaxing in each moment a little more onto the earth. Feel that connection getting stronger. Feel the front of your body open to the air, soft and spacious. Feel your low back dropping down onto the floor, relaxing and opening as it is received by the earth. And feel your spine and your organs dropping down into the low back, relaxing and opening. You might let that wave of relaxation move through the rest of the body, traveling down the legs all the way to the toes and up to the heart center, to the shoulder blades, to the back of the neck, the back of the head resting on the floor, to the forehead, to the backs of the eyeballs, to the jaw and the throat, all the way along the arms out to the palms of your hands, the fingers and the fingertips. As you rest in stillness, you might become aware of tension in the body or restlessness. Feeling of holding yourself above the floor. If you notice that arise, See if you can send your energy towards letting go. Maybe with a little curiosity, as if you were exploring what happens if I let go. What if I try this on? You can always take it off again. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Very gently and slowly draw your knees into your chest. See if you can move with softness, that same sense of ease and relaxation that you just had in stillness. Then roll over onto one side. From your side, press yourself to seated. See if you can let your head be the last thing to come up. Then grab your bolster or whatever it is you're using instead of a bolster and bring it to the middle of your mat, the top, the long edges parallel. And then if you have a block, you could take the block and set it right at the end of the bolster and put a pillow or a blanket on top. To essentially, what we're doing is making the bolster longer so that we can lay down on the bolster with our head supported all the way down to the base of our torso. So you could also stack 2 blocks here, set a blanket on top, and then have maybe another blanket if you're on a hard floor. Set it on the right side of your mat. Then lay down on the bolster, turn your head to the right or onto the left cheek. Bring your forearms to the floor. Then bend your right knee and draw it up along the floor toward the right elbow. And if you're on the hard floor, you can pull the blanket under the knee. You might wiggle around a little bit. The right or the left leg is extended straight back behind you. The right hip and the right knee are bent. Head is looking over the right shoulder. This is called half frog, supported version. And in this pose, the right psoas, also known as the hip flexor, is invited to relax. It's invited to let go. Psoas attaches the spine to the legs. It's deep in the center of our body. When it relaxes, often the entire nervous system will follow. So you might take a moment and with your loving awareness, go right into the center of your body, onto the right side of your spine. Draw your awareness from the spine down through the right hip to the inside of the top of your right leg. Imagining a long, skinny muscle that's really strong too. Imagining it softening, letting go, getting a break. Very gently extend your right leg back behind you. Move softly, slowly. Turn your head to the other side. Then draw your left knee up along the floor toward the left elbow. Rest your knee on a blanket or on the floor. You might want to adjust your hips a little bit on your bolster. And send your awareness to the center of your body, right along your low back. Imagine your psoas, long skinny muscle attaching the spine down through the left hip to the upper part of the left leg. And send that muscle your loving awareness. Imagine it letting go, relaxing deeply. Maybe that letting go from deep in the center of your body spreads out to the edges. A wave of letting go. Trusting in your props. Trusting in the earth. Very gently extend the left leg back behind you. And then very gently press yourself up and all the way back to child's pose for a moment. Lengthening the low back, letting the forehead rest on your bolster. And then sitting up, grabbing your pillow, your block, whatever you're using for your head, and scooting it forward so there's a little space in between the pillow and your bolster. And then lying back down on your belly, on the bolster, bringing your forehead to your support. Make sure that your Adam's apple has space in between to rest. Forearms come back to the floor and legs go straight back behind you. And you'll notice I have my feet resting on a rolled up blanket so my ankles can relax. It's always a nice option if you find that you're resting with your toes on the mat and the ankles are hovering above the floor. Bring your awareness to your heart center, but in the back body, right in between your shoulder blades. Using your loving awareness, soften the heart center. Feel the shoulder blades relax. Feel the heart open to receive the love that's all around you. Feel the heart open to share the love you have with the world. Slide your hands underneath you so you can slowly, softly press up off the bolster and again back to child's pose, lengthening the low back, bringing the forehead to the bolster. Then slowly and gently walking yourself up all the way to seated. Come down onto one hip, bring the legs out in front of you. You can leave your bolster right where it is and bring your blanket so it's right at the base of the bolster. If you want a small amount of back bend, fold your blanket a lot so that it's thick. If you want more of a back bend, you can make your blanket a little less folded, a little less thick. Then sit right up against the bolster on your blanket. So you should feel the bolster touching your low back. Bring the soles of the feet to the floor, bend the knees, and then use your hands to support you as you gently, with Ahimsa, with non-violence, lower yourself onto your back. You might notice as you arrive that you want a little support for the head. You might bring a pillow or maybe a blanket under the head, and then extend the legs along your mat. Let the arms rest at your sides with the elbows supported by the earth. If you want a little more of a heart opening experience, maybe a little stretch even to the chest, you can turn your palms face up and then begin to slide your arms out to maybe a T, sliding them up and out until you found a comfortable stretch in the chest. Not so much that you're working, that you're efforting to hold the position. Bring your awareness to your heart center in the front. And feel the muscles softening and relaxing. Feel the heart muscle itself relax. Feel the whole chest soften and open. And the love that you have for yourself threading through the whole body, touching every cell. Till the whole body is filled with your loving light. And no part of you is left behind. No part of you is forgotten. There is enough love for all of you. Take a moment, feel what is present right now in this moment. Physical sensation, emotion and feeling, thoughts. Think of one loving thought that you could have towards yourself, one loving feeling. Take the next few minutes to give your energy to that thought or that feeling. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. You might take a big stretch. Bend your knees and bring the soles of the feet to the floor. Very gently roll onto one side and press yourself to seated. Bring the palms together at heart center. Bow your head to your hands and honor the light and the love that lives within you. Then lift your head, and I invite you to share your love and your light with the world in the sound of Om. Exhale everything out. Breathe in. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.